In 11-3, we're going to be posting to a general ledger, and in this work together 11-3, we have a partial cash payments journal and a general journal that we're going to use these transactions to do our posting. So our first directions is to start a new page for the general ledger account called Supplies-Office. It gives us the account number and the account balance as of October 1st of the current year. So we're just plugging that information in as we have done in the past. So down here we open up our Supplies-Office. We write the account name and the number that they gave us was 1145. Our starting date was the October 1st. And in this first item, we just write the word balance. In the post reference, we write the V to show that we are not going to be, this did not come from anywhere. This is carried over from the previous month. And our balance that they gave us was $38.24. So we just finished instruction number 1, just to open up the Supplies-Office account. Instruction 2, we're going to post the October 19th general debit entry of the cash payments journal to the appropriate general ledger account. So if we go up here to our cash payments journal, we see on the 19th we have Supplies-Office, and we have this general debit column right here. So it looks like we had purchased some office supplies for $69.60. So this is the column that we're looking for, and we know that we paid cash because we have a cash credit here. So $69.60 is what we're looking for as a debit to post. So we're staying here on the Supplies-Office, the 19th. Our post reference is going to be the CP 15 for cash payments journal, page 15. So CP 15. And we said that we had a debit of $69.60. And this is a debit, and we have a normal debit balance because it is an asset. So we're going to add these two, since we have two debits, and carry the balance as a running tally. So when we add the $69.60 to our previous balance, we end up with a total now of $38.93 and 60 cents. And then we do our last step by taking the number here, the 1145, and plugging it in here to show that we have posted it. Our next instruction, number 3, says to post the October 12th general journal entry to the appropriate general ledger account. So we're going to have quite a few things to post here on October 12th. So here is our general journal, October 12th. We have a sales returns and allowance, a debit of $52. We have a sales tax payable of $3.12. And then we have this accounts receivable that we still need to post. Notice that we already posted David Bishop in a previous lesson because there's a number here to show that we already posted that. But the other half of it was the accounts receivable. We know we have 2 with this slash here, and we have a credit of $55.12 to post for our accounts receivable. So let's just do them right in order. We're going to go down here and open sales returns and allowances. We're going to plug in the date, October 12th. We're getting this from G11 for General Journal, page 11. And the sales returns and allowance is a debit of $52. We're plugging in our $52 here. And we have a debit balance that's a normal debit balance and a debit entry. So we are going to add those two together. So when we add the 52 to the 903, we now have 955. And then we stick the 4130 up here to show that we have posted that. Our next one we're going to open is our sales tax payable. The date is still the 12th. It's still G11. And we have $3.12 debit. And we have a credit balance here, so we have to subtract. So we have a normal credit balance with a debit entry now. So we're going to take that $3.12 off of this, and we are left now with $14.06.88. and it's still a credit balance. We take the $21.40, plug it in here to show we posted. And our last one for the 12th is the accounts receivable, so we're going to open up our accounts receivable. Still on G11, and we have a credit of $55.12. We have a normal debit balance for all our accounts receivable, and now we have a credit, and this makes sense because this was a return, so it is going to be credited the $55.12. So we're going to subtract that $55.12, and we should have a balance remaining of 1284.73. And then we plug this number in lastly to show that we have posted. Alright, we'll move on to the 26th. So moving on to the fourth instruction, we're going to post the October 26th of the general journal entry to the appropriate ledgers. And then the fifth one, we're just going to move right into the October 28th, still in the general journal. So here the 26th, we have to open up supplies-office again. Plug in the date, the G11, and notice we have a $25.44 debit that we have to post into our supplies-office. So we just plug that right in. And we have a normal debit balance and we have a debit entry, so we're going to be adding those two together. And our grand total now is $64.37.60. Don't forget to keep the cents. And plug in the number 1145 to show that's been posted. So these are pretty easy. We're just going to go line by line like we have been doing. Our second part of this 26th entry is the accounts payable. So we're going to be opening our accounts payable. Plug it in the date. And we follow the line exactly, so we're going straight across, and we have the $25.44 credit. Oh, I forgot to put the G11. And now that we have a credit and a credit, we're going to add these two together. So our new balance is going to be $50.61.80. And plug this number in to be sure you can see that it was posted. Now again, what we did last time is we did the electrographic supply. That's why there's a dash here and a number here to show that that's already been posted, the $25.44 in the past. So both of these accounts payable and electrographics, are posted. That's why this line is here with two numbers. Our last one is the 28th. So we have our accounts payable still open. Let's just plug that in right now. And we have a debit of $125. Again, don't forget that G11. So the debit was $125. And because we have a debit entry with a credit balance, we're going to be subtracting. So when we subtract, we have $49.36.80. And plug that $21.10 right up here to show you've posted. That's why it's so important to go in order. And this shows here this dash that we've already posted the $2.10, the arts and things, for the same amount, the $125. So that's already been done. And lastly, we open up purchases, returns, and allowance. We're still on the 28th. We're still on G11. And this time we have a credit of $125. And we have a credit balance with a credit entry, so now we're going to add those two numbers together. So our new balance here is going to be 2026.35. And then finally put the 5130 up here. And I believe that was our last instruction. And if you just go step by step in order, it seems like a lot, but it really isn't that long. It only took us less than 10 minutes. So finish up your 11-3, work together, and then go ahead and move on to the on your own problem for 11-3.